Good morning. Welcome to Ag Talking to Raw, where I talk raw about agriculture and other things on my mind, or maybe William's mind. So it's me and William this morning. Say his mommy will be picking him up here in a second. She's downstairs making coffee for her mommy. Right, William? Do you see yourself right there? Okay. So anyway, let's see. I guess we can say that I was watching the old boob tube the day before yesterday, and OAN News had Donald Trump on, and he was talking about the new trade deals that were struck with China and how China is actually locked into buying grain from us. They have no choice but to buy grain from us. If you're not an agricultural person and you're watching this and you're wondering why in the hell China would even bother buying grain from us, well, the trade agreements state that there cannot be a deficit. If China is shipping $10 trillion worth of crap to us, we have to ship $10 trillion worth of crap to them. And that makes the trade equal, even, so that there's no, the deal is just as good. So China can continue to ship their crap to us, their shitty little products that they make, that they sell at Walmart and other lesser quality brand stores, and they have to purchase something from us. So China is a huge manufacturing country now. I mean, ginormous. I just flew over China on Tuesday night. Was it Tuesday? Wednesday morning, I flew over China, and you could see the vast cities as I was coming across China. It's amazing. I mean, I was watching a little airplane on the screen as we were going across, and it was like, holy cow. So I'm looking out the window, and they're square or rectangular cities down below me, and I was at 41,000 feet. It was kind of crazy. Mr. Williams, don't you touch that. No. So China creates a lot of stuff. They don't create it. They produce it or reproduce it. A lot of them are pirated stuff. But they ship them here to the United States. So what does China have to purchase? It has to purchase something that they need. Well, when you manufacture everything, they don't need much. They need food. They need to feed that population that's producing the little plastic giblets that they're sending to us. So they need grain. Grain to feed poultry, pork, and cattle. I don't know how much cattle they actually produce over there or grow over there, but they don't have enough grain to do that. And they've been trying to produce enough grain to support themselves, but the problem is when they do that, then the United States says, sorry, if you don't buy $10 trillion worth of grain from us, we're not going to send you you can't send $10 trillion worth of crap to us. Tires and other whatnot stuff. And so that's what's going on. So the next day, like yesterday, the Assistant Secretary of Agriculture comes along and says milk prices are going to go up by 6%, and the price of grain is going to fall dramatically. Corn and soybeans will be through the floor. So, well, when you got China that is actually going to be buying corn, they're trying to buy a lot of rice from us, which is good, and but they're trying to buy a bunch of corn from us, and then the Assistant Secretary of Agriculture comes out and says, hey, by the way, the price of corn is going to go down. That, in my mind, is a signal to his buddies there at the Chicago Board of Trade to invest in futures, grain futures, because if China comes in and buys just 100 million bushels of corn, or a million bushels of corn, 10 million bushels of corn, or whatever the hell it is, it's going to put a demand on corn, which is obviously going to increase the price. Dad was watching. I left, and I thought, well, this is a good thing, because I plan on growing corn, not soybeans, but corn. I plan on growing this stuff, and play with these, and so I'm like, oh, this is excellent. So he flipped the channel over to RFD TV, which I don't have on my TV, but he flipped it over to RFD TV, and that didn't taste good, did it? Ewy. Here, give me that. You can poke your eye out, kid. Give me what? Anyway, so RFD TV comes along, and they're like, oh, this new trade deal with China is going to pan out for grain farmers, soybean and corn farmers. because it's because China's going to have to purchase this grain. So you've got the Assistant Secretary of Agriculture, and then you have the television show that is for farmers, saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, this great thing has happened, and our grain prices are going to climb up a little bit." So who do you believe? Do you believe Donald Trump, who stands there and says this is going to be a good thing for the American farmer, or do you believe the Assistant Secretary of Agriculture, who just contradicted the President of the United States, who made these deals, along with his administration, made this deal that is going to be great for U.S. farmers? And then you have the RFD-TV, who is speculating that, yes, when China buys this corn, the price of corn is going to climb. So there you go. I think that the Assistant Secretary of Agriculture may have been bought by some investors out of Chicago, New York, and God knows where else in the world, paid to say, hey, by the way, the price is going to stay low, and farmers are going to sell off because farmers are that way. They'll panic sell, and the price will drop a few more cents, and then when the reality comes out, like in 2 weeks when China buys 10 billion bushels of corn, or whatever the heck it is, I'm just throwing, oh, you dropped it. What are you going to do now? That thing tasted bad anyway. So China buys these 10 billion bushels of corn, then corn goes from $3.85 to $5. Somebody just made some serious dinero. And it isn't the farmer, unless you're a savvy enough farmer to buy into futures and see where it goes. But anyway, with that being said, that's what's happening. The world is messed up, and the media is messed up. You don't know who to believe. You know who to believe if you've got half a brain in your head, but you don't know who to believe if you don't. If you watch CNN, NBC, CBS, CNBC, all of those. Oh God, William, what are you doing, Mr. Fidgets? He's getting so big. But anyway, yeah. So if you believe those news stations, you'll believe that the world is coming to an end. Donald Trump is at fault for everything that's happened since 1945, and what the hell? Well, I can't say 1945. I'd say about 1948. I think that's how old. 47, 71, 47, 46, 47, whatever. Whenever he was purchased or born, spawned. So the Democrats have been digging and digging and digging and digging, and now they're digging into his children's business deals, which, to be quite honest with you, I don't see where that's relevant, but whatever, who gives a damn? The man's the president, he's doing the job. He's doing the job better than most people have done in a long, long time. And, is it a breath of fresh air? Sometimes he does things that I don't like, but guess what? He's doing something. He's not just chipping away at a golf ball all day, every day. He's not taking elaborate vacations over to Hawaii every other week with his wife, his mother-in-law, and then his mother-in-law gets paid like $450,000 a year for the rest of her life because she was the nanny to her grandchildren. Wasn't that great? Oh yeah, she's on the payroll. We got to pay for that shit. Yes. You see this, kid? So anyway, so I made mention of buying a corn planter, new corn planter. Actually, that's what the title was. It did quite well, 10,000 views. Thank you very much. We had a discussion about metric bolts and imperial or standard bolts. I prefer the U.S. standard or the imperial bolt size or fastener size over the metric ones, just because A, that's what we use here. B, I have had very bad experiences with metric bolts. Yes, I've had standard bolts loosen up, but nowhere near as often as a metric one has, And metric, yes, it's 1 through 10, and then you get all the 1.1, 1.5, 1.2, different thread sizes, 2.1s, and that's 2.1 threads per millimeter or whatever the hell it is, and I don't know. It's crazy. Actually, I don't think they're 2.1 threads per millimeter. I think they're 2.1 threads per millimeter. or 1.2 is finer. Maybe that's the distance apart from them. It's stupid silly. But anyway, there's a lot of different things that I just don't like about metric. There's just a lot of different things I don't like about. Are you giving me the stink eye? So I'll stick with my American Standard and be just happy about that. Oh, I know that there's some people out there that think that I'm stupid for this, but you know what? That's what we do in the United States. Yes, there is metric here. Yes, I have metric tool sets. Yes, I do deal with equipment that has metric. Do I like it? No, not at all. And what I've seen through the major equipment brands that I've bought that have metric bolts, they always have Loctite on them. Always. So if I could go to the tool bin or the parts bin right now, pull out some metric bolts from Krone and show you that they've been sprayed with this blue Loctite crap. New Holland does it. Everybody does it. They just spray that stuff. So anyway, with this corn planter that I'm going to be purchasing, I don't want a good one. I want a John Deere 7000. Parts are very, very readily available from Shoop's. I can buy Kinsey parts, and I can, give me that. I can buy Kinsey parts, it won't matter. The toolbar is like tough as nails. I've never broken a toolbar from a 7000, and I've had 2 of them over the years, just four rows. I want a 6-row because I'm trying to get stalks. What? What? You want to go over here now? That better? Here, maybe you want this. Want this? It's a camera case. I'm riddled with stuff. Want that? Yeah. So anyway, I'm buying a 6-row. Thought about a 12, but I just don't want to spend that kind of money. I really want to buy the cheapest John Deere 7000 I can get. Somebody offered me one on here for free if I went to Wisconsin to pick it up. I'm game for that. I don't care about that. I'll do it. So anyway, I'd do that. But if it's closer, it costs me less in fuel, and whatever. But the experience would be fun. I don't know that I have time to do it, though, to go to Wisconsin. So what I want to do is get this cheapest thing I can get, strip down my current 7000 4-row, and use the parts from that are good. If there's bad parts on the 7000, that's going to be a rust bucket, because I'm sure it's going to be sitting outside forever and ever. I would like a liquid applicator, liquid fertilizer in the row units, which there's a slew of those. So yeah, that's really what I'm looking for, and then I'm going to do a rebuild series on the channel. It should take me about a week to completely assess, order, and get the parts up on that corn planter. So there you go. Yep, and that's really what I'm up to on that one. A lot of guys asked about the 4010. No, I don't have the 4010 on the forefront of my mind right now. I've got other bigger, badder things that need to be done. Just really need to get done. Like, I do have to complete this hay deal. And I think I've already discussed how I was going to do this. To make hay in the wintertime at this point is futile. There's just no way I can get out on the fields. It is raining. We're getting 3 inches of rain right now as we speak, which is just screwing the pooch on that. Hey, Mom. Little boy needs his mom. So we got that going on. It hasn't frozen. We're looking for next week to cool down, but I don't think it's going to be cold enough. You get 3 inches of rain on top of it. It's just not going to be cold enough to freeze it solid enough for me to even drag these machines across it, and which is disheartening to say the least. Yeah. So I think that's pretty well done. And what's going to happen then in May, in maybe late April, early May, probably late April, I will be actually baling hay to shove into the mushroom barns or into the composters. The old hay that's laying there still has to get taken off, and then come in and put fertilizer down and get it growing for a second cut for when I get back from the straw job. Right, William? So today I'm going to go over and see my nephew Cody, see what his plans are for what he's going to be doing. I'm hoping he's not happy in his job, from what I understand, but I'm hoping that he he wants to leave the job. And if he does want to leave the job, and I can get him for this summer, and I can pay him enough money to actually stay on the farm. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We're going to see what happens there. We're going to put a plan in place because I've bit off a lot with corn, with the corn stalks, with the hay, with the straw job and all that. I'm going to do the straw job, hands down, no problem. I'm on it. But to get all that hay made that I need to get made, I need as many people working as I possibly can. So my plan is with putting fertilizer down that I'll be done by May, hopefully, unless it's too wet. So May 1st is my goal. May 1st to the 5th is my goal to have this done. The hay is going to come off by the 10th. Just slice it off, spread it out, choke it through the baler, and move it along the road. Move it along. Kill that hay, get it spread with compost to the hilt, and chisel plow it in, and then wait, get it worked in, and then plant the corn. Get that corn in there. Once I get the corn planted, then spray it for weeds, residual weeds. Oh God, William. And hopefully it comes up canopies really quick, and I don't have to worry about coming back in. If I do have to come back in, that means that I got to drive up from North Carolina after the first week or so, show the fertilizer company where they're going to spray it, or I'll have to spray it again myself, which I can do. 200 acres, it should take me about a day, and then head back down to North Carolina. And that is, because that's where one of the places I'm going to be. That's where we'll probably be in the second week of June is North Carolina. But I don't know. We're going to find out. Hopefully I get the weeds under control before I ever even leave. I mean, if I have to come back through with a contact herbicide, then great. But if not, there you go. So it's just going to be a busy year. We're setting up our living quarters right now, and how we're going to do that, which is good. I've got my crew set. I have 7 people coming. We'll be having a guest come by for a week and run, and you all like that because he's a good guy. I like him a lot. And that should be fun too. And it'll probably give someone a break. Not me, but one of the boys, if they can take a little longer break or team up to do another job down there, because I have 2 contracts now, or 1 contract. The second one I got to get sewed up, but I'm pretty sure we've got that one done. Also, just need to discuss the fine details, like what it's going to cost, them, because I'm going to do it one way or the other. I need to know what it's going to cost. So we need to figure out a total to do the job, and there you go. And that's just the way it is. Correct. So that's just what's going to happen here. Got to meet with the fertilizer company, I think tomorrow. I got some paperwork I got to sign, and I found per row 12 row is much cheaper to buy. That is true. I agree with that. But what am I going to do with a 12 row corn planter? I need housing for it when I'm done, and I don't have the shed space, so it's kind of, I don't really want to be buying another building to put up because it's expensive. See, here's a guy who says, I have a 7200 front fold 12 row 30-inch vacuum meter planter for sale, $10,000 here in Iowa. Lots of extras. I would love to purchase it, but I really would like to just stick with the 7000 series because the parts are cheap. It does a good job, or a good enough job for me, and it will allow me to show the world how to rebuild a John Deere 7000. I've done it lots of times. Do you like coffee? Here, let's give you some. Ready? That'll get Mommy going. She'll flip out. Mommy flip out if I give you that coffee. Wouldn't she? She'd be like, you know what? You're not allowed to touch my boy anymore. Aw, are you tired? He might be tired. He just woke up, but he eats and then he gets tired again. So, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Ag Talking to Raw. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I know it doesn't matter because Gurgle Gobble My Balls does not they just are not counting any new subscriptions. I go to my analytics page and it says, hey, this month you gained 425 subscribers, and I'm still at 10,700. And that's after the unsubscribed people, because I do get people that unsubscribe. You know, they subscribe to it and then they unsubscribe, which is normal. It doesn't bother me in the least. And quite honestly, I don't care if this channel hits 100,000 or 200 or 500 or a million. It doesn't matter to me if it stays at 10,000 for the rest of the time that I'm on this earth. But it would be nice to get credit where credit is due. And I only do these to keep myself sane so my thoughts don't bounce around in my head too hard, creating excess heat and exploding my brain. But anyways, thanks again. See you next time.